Hi everyone, so this is Chrissy here, or Bella, and I've been wanting to do this video for such a long time, but oh my, I've been so busy. But I finally decided I'm going to do it today. It's now the 24th of December, it's Christmas Eve, and it's now 5 p.m. in Argentina. And I wanted to share with you just a few of the Argentine traditions during Christmas time. What is it like in Argentina during Christmas? And I'll just go ahead and start. So first of all, let me share my first experience of spending Christmas in Argentina. I was totally surprised, shocked. I came to Argentina in 2013 on the year 2013 December 30. I think I got here the 30th of December 2013, so I didn't spend Christmas here. But in the year of 2014 I spent Christmas here, and I was utterly surprised to find out that Christmas Eve in Argentina, or the second half of Christmas Eve in Argentina, is more important than Christmas Day. So at about midday, there about 2 p.m. going on to 3-4, businesses start to close, and people, you know, some people do their last minute shopping. Maybe they'll buy their last piece of outfit for the Christmas, or they will go to the supermarkets to do their shopping. But like midday thereabout, you start to find that most places are closed. Only maybe like the clothing place, stores, and even them sometimes are closed. Even those sometimes are closed. Or the food store. The food places are normally the places that stay open the longest. I'm sorry if I just say whatever. I'm just really tired, but I just had to do this video. So yeah, so the food places are normally open, and but they also close like towards the afternoon. So right now it's 5 o'clock. I'm sure if I go on the road, I will hardly see anyone on the road. And then when it gets later in the 6-7 o'clock, there's almost no one on the road. Like the road completely empty. I think even the thieves I think even the thieves go home before a certain time. So people get together with their families and they start preparing the meal food. They are big on asado, so they will do asado, which is like just like roasted or jerked beef. And then also yeah, so just mostly that. They just stay home and just prepare the meal, and then play their music, families get together. So Christmas is a time of family gathering. And I must say that what they will do is that they will spend half, for example, for a couple, they will maybe spend Christmas with the wife's family, and then for the New Year, they will do that with the husband's family. Right, so as I was saying, is that for the couples, like they would spend Christmas with maybe their wife's family, and then New Year's with the husband's family, vice versa. And if the husband's or the wife's family, if their parents are divorced, then that's where it gets complicated. So they may just have to, maybe it's this Christmas they do one set of the family, and maybe the next Christmas or the next holiday season they do it another set of family. But yes, that's pretty much what they do. Another thing is the clothing. On Christmas Day, people wear red and white. So it's like a tradition. Like in Jamaica, we don't necessarily, we know that red, green, and all of that, those colors are normally associated with Christmas, but we don't necessarily dress in those colors. But in Argentina, it's a big thing. And people will go all out. You'll see the stores, they have just red and white. So yeah, that's what they wear. And as it relates to food, I mentioned a bit about that before, that they will have their asado, which is like a jerked or roasted beef. And it's not like in Jamaica, you know, when Christmas time is, now you go all out and you ensure that you have all the fancy meal. You have to do a big cooking and I have a lot of variety of meals in Jamaica. In Jamaica and Argentina, I'm so tired. In Argentina, it's not like that. They just have their asado. That is something that they have all throughout the year. And they may do chicken, but they're not very big on chicken. And they may do pork, or maybe they'll have lamb as well. And they eat the same peas and sandwiches that they eat all throughout the year. Their salad. Another thing is that even though I haven't really been to an Argentine house during Christmas time, but I see the pictures and I know. And also during this time, in the supermarkets, you'll know it's Christmas because they will have out a lot of sweet treats. So they have this thing like called pan dulce, which is like sweet bread. So it's like really light bread that's sweet, and inside of it they may have fruits. Some of them will have dried fruits, or they'll have like chocolate chip cookies. And during that time, you'll see the supermarket, they'll have like an entire aisle that's full of that, and they have a lot of chocolate covered nuts, so chocolate covered peanuts or almonds and all of that during that time. And also, they have this thing called pudding, which is like a moist cake in the form of a rectangle. Yeah, they do prepare a lot during that time, and they sell a lot. And they also have this thing where they call it mantecol, which is like peanut and I think like some cream or something. And those are like the big Christmas traditions. And they also drink a lot of wine and champagne, but that's the usual for Argentines. But you have a lot more champagnes coming out that time. They drink mostly wine during the year, but yes, in Christmas time they have a lot more coming out. You can see them like on the shelves that are to the front. And yeah, people buy a lot of beer and Coca-Cola. Those things sell a lot during that time. Another thing is that people who work for different organizations will get what is called a caja navideña, or a Christmas box, and in that box you'll have like champagne or wine, and they'll have a pan dulce for sure, and pudding for sure, and then they'll have all the other little, as I said, chocolate covered candies and stuff like that. And they'll also give you a can with fruits. I wanted to show you guys this the caja navideña, or the Christmas box, but my friend didn't get one this year. They said they decided to change it, so I don't have one to show, but I'll try and stick out a picture from the internet so you guys can see. All right, so what lesson is done. Oh, I'm so tired of just saying whatever. Just bear with me. So yeah, so during Christmas time, that's pretty much what Argentines do. It's nothing too fancy. And as it relates to decoration, they're not very big on decoration at all, because you will go into some stores and you will see them try with a little, you know, I'm not sure what they call it. It's a string thing that's green, and some of them we put a little Santa Claus or it's a Christmas tree, but it's not like you will go into the mall and use. Well, I went to Cordoba, and the mall in Cordoba had more decorations than the one here in Rosario, so that too may depend on the province that you're living in. But the one that I'm living in is not very big. It's not like they have like a whole Christmas tree. Well, before, when I just came, they had like a big Christmas tree in one of the malls, but I haven't really been seeing a Christmas tree recently. And the only thing that I see is that they have decorated like at the intersection of two main streets. They like used lights to form a Christmas tree, and that's the only thing that I really see that shows you that it's Christmas. Well, Argentines get very fussy when it comes on to the end of year. People who work, they will give like a stipend. Well, obviously they get like a stipend. They get a bonus, and it's a pretty. For example, if you work like 50,000 pesos, you may get like 15,000 pesos bonus. That's like what, like a quarter of your pay or something like that. And also, oh, the main reason for Christmas in Argentina, it's It's more about the food and family. It's not so much about the religious aspect of it. So even though Argentina associates itself with Christianity, they're mostly Roman Catholics, but Christmas is not a very religious time for them. It's more about getting together with your family, which is something they do all the time, but maybe family members that were very far away that they couldn't see during the year, this is the time that they travel to different provinces to see their families. And also it's a time where they just eat more food than the usual, or maybe eat things that they don't really necessarily get in the year, but it's not much of a big deal. To me, it's kind of like the same thing that they do during the year, but to them it's still a big deal. And so I say Christmas starts pretty much for them afternoon on the Christmas Eve, and then it goes up to maybe about midday. It's the same time on Christmas Day. The stores will still be closed because people are still, trying to get over the whole excitement. They're still resting and sleeping because they stayed up until late. People stay up until 12 o'clock, and that's when you start to hear you start to see the fireworks and all of that, and people start to throw, I can't remember what it's called, but that thing that makes like a sound, like that sounds like a bomb. I can't remember what it's called. So yeah, people will stay up until 12, and then before 12, like a little bit before 12, you won't hear anything. I remember when I just came from New Year, that's a similar thing. Like the streets were clean and we were walking on the streets all by ourselves, and then it was midnight while we were on the street and we started to just hear boom, boom all over. I was so scared. So yeah, they do all that excitement, and then after that, like a short while after that, you start to just hear cars all over, boom, 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 boom. Like the street just it moves from being completely quiet to being completely noisy, to be so noisy and busy because people are starting to go back home and all of that, all the excitement. And maybe after that, if I'm not mistaken, the young people maybe go to clubs or stuff like that. And then by after midday, afternoon, going into the evening on Christmas Day, things start to go back to normal. Restaurants start to reopen. You may see people in the parks, little corner stores start to open. Life starts to return to the city. And one thing that I wanted to also mention is that the buses stop running at about 9 p.m., 8, 9 p.m. And they may start to operate again in the early morning. So yeah. And as it relates to me for this Christmas, well, normally I would spend Christmas with some friends, maybe from Haiti mostly. Sometimes I think I spend it at a church if they had an event, or if some church family would invite us, so we would go and spend time with them. Oh, when I said I didn't spend Christmas with an Argentine, that's not true. Last Christmas, the actual day, we went to an Argentine home, and then I said it was just the same thing, pizza, sandwiches. That was it. Like, because they don't eat meat or anything like that, so that was pretty much what they had for Christmas. And I was like, okay. But anyways, Argentines are not very fussy people, so anything works for them. So yeah, this Christmas I was invited to go to 2 places tonight, but I'm very tired because I just got back from a trip, and if I go somewhere, well, one place is close to me, but I don't really know that family that well, so I'm not sure how it would work. And then I have family, but to spend time with my family, but they live very far away, and I'm not sure how I would get transportation to come back home. So I was like, okay, I'm not sure it's wise for me to go anywhere, and I'm very tired. I can't stay up until midnight. So I'll just stay in tonight and just leave. I got 2 non-alcoholic champagne, so and I'm gonna make some dinner right now, some fish, some escabeche fish. So I will just do some fish, have a nice dinner with my champagne, and just call it a night. Then tomorrow, no, I go to church, and I heard that before church, I'm gonna have a breakfast this session, so I guess I'll just have breakfast and go for church service, and they'll be doing like a singing session. And then after that, I'm gonna have lunch with my friends, and then I just come home and continue to rest. That's it. All the fussiness part 1 will be over. Now I have to get over the next one, which is next week when it's the new year. So yeah, that's pretty much how Christmas is in Argentina. I hope I didn't bore you too much. And I'll also be posting a video, maybe videos, showing what the supermarket is like, a supermarket tour during Christmas time. And maybe I'll video what I get up to tomorrow. So we'll see. So take care of yourselves, and just wanted to remind you that during this time to just be safe, be kind, and to, if you don't have all the fancy things that others have during this time, just remember that in some parts of the world people are not even as fussy, or they don't have fancy things and they're still happy. Argentines are happy with anything. So just want to encourage you, just to give you that vibe, to just be happy with the simple things, right? And be happy just the same. And it's a time to spend with family, and for those of us who don't have family members close by, it may be a bit sad during this time, but if you have someone to spend it with, it still would have been a blessing. And it's also a time for us to think about the persons who don't have any family members, or who have recently lost family members and will have to spend this season without them, and that's very sad. But I just want to just encourage you to just be contented with whatever you have, be happy. And just like Jesus came to this earth, he was perfect, and he came to this earth to die for us, to live a sinful life. We are also reminded not that we should be grateful to him, but also we are also reminded that we must make sacrifices for the benefit of others. So take care, have fun, enjoy the holiday seasons, and I'm sending you holiday greetings from Argentina to you wherever you are in the world. Bye bye.